You're listening to the Let's Go Buffalo podcast, your new favorite podcast for everything Bills and Sabres. What's going on, everybody? You're listening to the Let's Go Buffalo podcast, your favorite podcast for all things Bills and Sabres with the pals Nigel, Tom, and Jake. Episode 58 is coming at you. And my God, imagine being the asshole that said Josh Allen was overrated. Tom, what do you think about that, buddy?
Hogwash.
Hogwash.
And Josh came out and did all the Josh things. We had the whole roller coaster. We had the crazy turnover. And then we also had all of the fun hurt. Man, I want at some point just a whole like 12-month calendar of all of his hurdles. That's what I want.
Dude, oh my God, what a great idea. The Let's Go Buffalo Josh Allen calendar, dude.
Yeah.
Do it.
And then a couple pages will be us hurdling things.
Yeah, oh my God, that would be even funny. Just like every couple months, it's just like, it's just like me or Tom.
It's like me over like a stick.
Which might still be a stretch, dude. Yeah, sorry. I had to start off that way because I just can't.
You got it.
I can't believe it. Jake, how you doing, buddy?
I'm great, guys. Yeah, I said it when I was watching the game. Like, well, there's this hurdle for the year. We're good.
Dude, it's just I can't imagine. And now, and I looked at all the stats from this past weekend, and I tried to put away all of my bias. And obviously, I did not watch every single game. You would have a hard time convincing me there was a player that was more valuable to his team's win than Josh Allen was to the Bills' win this past weekend. He was absolutely dominant, aside from that turnover, which was egregiously ugly. But like Tom said, that is just the Josh Allen experience and all that fun stuff. We're getting too far without having a beer. Should we crack a beer real quick?
Sure.
Let's do it.
Sorry, I just got too excited. Here we go, boys. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Sweet. Let's see. Anybody dying to go first?
I'll fess up real quick. I'm a little under the weather, and thank God it's not because of the Bills. So I'm drinking a seltzer tonight. It's a little coconut pineapple, living the island life.
Actually sounds tremendous, dude.
It's delicious. It's from Target.
Target. Jake, what are you sucking on, my guy?
I do have a beer this week. I did not have a beer last week, and the Bills won. And you guys know I'm superstitious, so I do have a beer this week. So I'm on eggshells a little bit, but I got one of Tom's favorites up by him, Zero Gravity, the Juicer.
Ooh, I've never had that in a can. I've had it draft.
Quite good.
So here's my next thing I have to do is now that I'm south, I can't just buy a 6-pack of the same beer. I need to actually craft your own. The problem is I have to find a spot where I can craft my own because there's no Wegmans anymore, right?
Yeah.
So I still have the same one I had last week, the Holy Roller from Urban South. Still delicious. So I'm still not technically cheating, but I'm a little bit cheating. So
lean into the superstition angle. The Bills won last week. You got the same beer.
That's right. That's my new angle. Okay, I'm just trying not to ruin the mojo.
We'll cut that last part out. Don't worry.
Cool. Yeah. With all of our really great editing skills between the three of us.
Yeah.
Well, before we get into recapping the nitty-gritty of the Bills-Cardinals game, we have a sizable piece of news with the offensive line to share. Tom, would you like to share with the class what that is?
Yeah, we have the deets of Spencer Brown's extension. We learned, and we talked about it on last week's pod, that he got the extension, but we don't know what it was. So here are the details. It is 4-year, $72 million, $18 million average annual value, and $19.855 million guaranteed. So he signs all the way through 2028, and there are 2 void years tagged at the end. The nice part about this deal is that it does seem very team friendly. It gives Spencer Brown also the ability to earn this full $18 million a year, which in my mind is very it's very competitive in the tackle market, right? That's a good signing. So it allows him, if he stays healthy and plays up to his ability, he can make all this money, but it does give the Bills a little bit of an out. Now, I did see actually Sal Capaccio on Twitter today. He's like, everybody's all excited about the deals having an out, and while that's important, but like, shouldn't you just be as excited of, man, this player can just play out his entire contract and play the lights out? Like, that's what we should be excited about. What are your thoughts there, folks? Boys.
Well, dude, first of all, I guess we'll jump to this right off the bat here. So, if you're a Bills fan and you're not already listening to our buddy Joe Marino and his podcast, one of his 2 podcasts, Locked On Bills, you need to be. But one of the things that we get or that you can choose to have access to, if you're a follower of Joe Marino's, is something he calls his subtext community. And as a member of that, you get access to all this great stuff on Discord, including a lot of film breakdown that he does. And boy, oh boy, I hopped in that Discord Monday evening because he normally does the all 22 stuff Monday in the afternoon. I hopped on there Monday evening to check out the clips, and it was a masterclass in Spencer Brown being a big, giant bully, dude. He was absolutely manhandling dudes. And I'm not exaggerating when I like just say literally just moving dudes, like taking grown ass men wherever he wanted to take them. If the film that we got from this game this past Sunday is what we're going to get this season, we officially have a bargain here, folks. So check this out. In terms of the contract's total value, Spencer Brown is currently the 13th highest paid offensive tackle in the NFL.
Now, just question, is that for right tackle and left tackle combined, or just at right tackle?
Yes, that is for, because like Tristan Wirfs is at the top of this list and he's a left tackle.
Okay.
So yeah, 13th highest paid offensive tackle in terms of the total contract, 17th in terms of average annual salary. So I do have the top 20 attached here, and I won't go through all of them, but as you get to the bottom of this list, like, you're seeing guys that I think Spencer Brown is right there with. All this to say, I think it's an incredibly fair contract. And honestly, dude, if the Spencer Brown that we just watched is the Spencer Brown that we are going to get all season, it's officially a bargain. It's like right there with the Ed Oliver money, like in that level of bargain. He was absolutely dominant on Sunday, guys.
That's awesome. And especially because we get to tag that on top of a great year last year. It's not like, oh, he was kind of wishy-washy, didn't play super well. I hope this is going to like, we saw a great 2023 season. So to have another, game 1 of this year go off like that, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And honestly, dude, it was both of the tackles. Dion was, and this is that's just the bar for Dion. Yeah. I'm sure we all saw that pancake block on Khalil Shakir's touchdown. My God, dude, that poor guy doesn't have a soul anymore. So
I watched that like 11 times in a row today.
Oh my God, it's the best.
Just so pretty.
So yeah, I just think it's, man, we've got 2 really good starting tackles on this team, and that is goddamn huge.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. And we have some depth that we're excited about, right? There's Ryan Vandemark, Tyler Grable. Like there's players that we're excited about coming up underneath too. Yeah. So, Bean's putting together a little bit of a line factory here, which is fun.
Can we tangent for a second?
Good.
Always.
So in the Eagles game, I saw new center with Jason Kelsey retiring. I saw some sloppy handoff work to Jalen Hurts. With the Bills' new center and new arrangement on the line, how did you guys think they did? How'd they look? Who stood out in a good or bad way?
Yeah, Connor McGovern was a little bit under fire during training camp for some sloppy snaps, but it's just pretty, I don't know if I want to say typical or standard, but super common beginning of center quarterback relationship stuff. It was a complete non-factor on Sunday. Not an issue at all.
Yeah. Awesome. Even like his shotgun snaps, they looked good. They wasn't like errant, or Josh didn't have to work extra hard to receive the snap. So no, it seemed good. And David Edwards at left guard, he didn't pop out, which I think is a good sign.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Correct.
with O-line play, if we don't really notice you, you're probably doing a good job.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah. Couldn't agree more. Absolutely.
So off to a good start. We got to see it game after game, but off to a good start. Good question.
Congrats,
No, that's a good
congrats to
point.
Spencer Brown.
Yeah, love it. And hopefully we get some more, Stone Cold Steve Austin beer smashing highlights so I can get another T-shirt with his face on it.
That would be excellent.
I should have worn that tonight for his sixth. Darn it! I missed.
Go
it.
change right now.
Yeah,
Dude, I lost mine, Tom. Can you believe that?
No, that's like a
Yeah, I
prized
know.
possession, Nigel.
Yeah, it makes me really, really, really freaking sad. I can't find it anywhere. I think I lost it in my move.
Watch Kayla, just wear it one of these times.
She
You
wouldn't
see
be
her?
caught. She wouldn't be caught dead, dude. Wouldn't be caught dead.
All right, let's keep rolling for Week 1 versus the Arizona Cardinals. The Bills walked away with a big old win, 34-28. Yeah, baby, 1-0. It's got to just start stacking them. So they played really well. It was such a fun game. It was definitely a Bills game, and I don't know about you guys, but I forgot how much cardiac health and a cardiac endurance I needed watching the Buffalo Bills.
I don't know how you could possibly forget that, dude, because we're reminded for 17 weeks of the year. Well, I guess 16 technically because of the bye week, but yeah, that's a pretty consistent reminder we get. Should we do our typical and go around and talk about like one thing that we were super stoked on and one thing that we did not love? Is that cool?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, let's do it.
Jake, you want to go first and take any low-hanging fruit that you're interested in?
Please. Well, the thing I'm stoked about, number one, I have to shout myself out. I got the score prediction dead on. So
He did.
Hell yeah, dude.
He did.
Super impressive.
I'm 1-0. A blind squirrel finds a nut here and there. So I was stoked about that. I was stoked about some of the pressure that Kyler Murray got to him. I thought the D-line did a pretty good job at that. And Tom, the sack counter's up to 4.
Yes, sir. I gotta get a little bag in the corner somehow and sack counter.
And I guess the thing I was concerned about, it's game 1. You're settling in. The team is. So I'd like to see maybe a little bit less of those cardiac activities down the line. It was a little greasy at times, I thought, and it didn't seem like we had a good answer for their run game. Maybe I don't know if you guys would agree with that or not, but I guess that's what I noticed from a very layman's perspective.
I would, just to kind of piggyback off that idea, I would say that at the beginning of the game, first quarter, you're right. Maybe we didn't have the answer for the run game, but afterwards, we absolutely had an answer. James Conner ended with 50 something total yards rushing, which is for a team that is historically very good at rushing and a team that was expected to do really well against this Bills defense. That was an awesome performance. He had one big rip-off run and everything else he was contained. So I think they eventually figured it out, which I think is the story of this game. The first half, the Bills defense looked like they were kind of floundering a little bit, but then they figured it out and tightened up the screws and were able to take it home. Because there was, I can't remember the exact numbers, but it was the Bills had a good score. They were able to swing the score their way pretty quickly coming out from the second, or going into the half and then coming back out with a double dip, which was pretty awesome.
That double dip was so key.
It's my favorite.
Key.
It's my favorite.
Love the double dip, dude.
Big old double dip fans over here.
It was if they don't get this touchdown to end the half, though, it was 17-10 is a lot different than 17-3.
Yeah, that's true.
Facts, dude.
Now, there's two players. Nigel, I'm going to let you pick one that you get to start with. There's two players that I think really stuck out this game. I'm going to let you pick one, and I'm going to take the other. Who is like a standout performance for you, Nigel?
I have 3, and I guess we already talked about Josh Allen, so not including Josh Allen, I have 2 more that are significant standouts for me. And those 2 for me are Greg Rousseau and Keon Coleman. Do you have a preference, Tom?
Dude, take it away. Go. You take group.
I'm going to talk about Greg Rousseau. My God, dude. Similar to Spencer Brown, if this is the Greg Rousseau that we are going to get this season, dude, first of all, quarterbacks are going to be losing sleep that Saturday night before they play the Bills. Second of all, we're not going to be able to afford anybody else for a long time because Greg Rousseau is going to get the entire Brinks truck. He's going to get whatever is inside the Brinks truck, and then the truck is also going to become his. That's how big his contract is going to be, dude. What a dominant performance from him. That initial stab that he played with in that game, dude. I can't believe someone's heart didn't collapse.
Yeah.
He is starting off every rep with the most violent stab to the chest and to the shoulder of these offensive tackles that I've ever seen him use. it's the level of, like, he's always been very technically sound, but the level of violence that has increased with that technical proficiency just seems to be on a different level this year. He looks fast. He looks fluid. He's using an assortment of pass rush moves, including spins, rips, and bull rushes that look awesome. I mean, and then 3 sacks with a forced fumble, dude. He also, don't forget, 6 total tackles, all of which lost yards. There was not a single tackle that he made that was beyond the line of scrimmage. I'm going to say that again. He had 6 total tackles, and not a single one of those went for a single positive yard. That is absolutely crazy, dude. Greg Rousseau is officially a problem.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it, baby. You're right. His initial stab is insane. It's like the guy has he's jousts. He has like jousting poles for arms, and he just comes up and just completely decleats people.
Well, dude, I mean,
awesome.
he's just so long, dude. Like, I just don't even know. Like, what do you possibly do? His arms are almost 35 inches, dude.
Yeah.
Like, how do you stop that? What do you do? Like, what do you do?
Nothing. It's the picture of the kid, the big kid holding the other kid by the forehead. That's exactly
what it feels like, dude. Like, it's just crazy, dude. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves because week 1 is usually a liar.
True.
Right? We need to remember that. Yes. But goddamn, dude, Greg Rousseau looks fucking awesome, flat out.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, man. It's so cool. Let's let it rip, right? And yeah, so awesome. I want to give Josh his full time in the sun here. We talked about at the beginning. He absolutely is not overrated. I don't know if you guys heard, but there was some MVP chants in the stadium, which is, I was echoing at home.
Dude, he played like an MVP, which definitely means Lamar Jackson's going to win his 3rd.
Yes. 100%. Yep. No, Jake called it right there.
Oh my God. Yeah. Facts.
Jake's the one calling shit right now. So I think Jake's got to figure it out. So
look at my FanDuel account.
His full stat line was 18 for 23 for a 78% completion percentage, 232 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns through the air, and then 9 carries for 39 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Neither were short yardage, right? Both of them were 5 yards or further from the end zone. So everybody out there saying he just gets little tush pushes in there, look again. And the guy was just dominant. He did what he wanted. And he honestly did one of my favorite things is he really lived up to that mantra they've been preaching all camp. Everybody eats. 9 players caught passes from Josh Allen. 9. And he used whoever was open. Dalton Kincaid, who we thought would be the number 1 target in this offense, was just completely wrapped up by the Cardinals. The Cardinals decided that they weren't going to be beat by Dalton Kincaid. So Josh said, all right, I'll beat you other ways. And that's what this everybody eats offense and that kind of plan and process and scheme, that's what that offers. It doesn't mean that we don't just rely on, oh my God, I sure hope Stefon Diggs is out there and he can win this game for us. No, we have 9 other players who can make plays for us when needed. So it was cool to see that kind of that approach work out the way it did. I really like that.
Yeah, dude. It was honestly, it was nothing short of a pleasure to watch Josh Allen play football on Sunday, man. It's kind of like, and I don't say we as in the 3 of us, although we did talk about it, but we as in like the Bills Mafia community, it's kind of exactly what we thought could happen, dude. Just this opportunity to be a point guard, and just distribute the ball wherever it should go. Not where it has to go so that somebody stays happy. Where the ball should go, because that's the best thing for the team on that given play, right? And when you have that and a plethora of weapons, like Tom just talked about, it was 9, right, Tom? 9 different players caught a ball.
9.
Dude, like I don't know what else to say besides how do you stop that, dude? If you've got a team that just has 9, A-, B+ level players, you can't stop everyone, dude. You just can't. And this idea that everybody on this team is going to eat, like, bro, I know the Cardinals aren't the best team in the league, but we watched a defense completely eliminate what was regarded as our top pass catching option, and we still hung up 38 points or whatever. Was it 38, 31,
34.
34? Sorry, still hung up 34 points, right? So, like, that to me is so incredibly telling, because if you think going into that game that Dalton Kincaid was not a major part of the game plan, you would be a fool. But the fact that he was a major part of the game plan was completely taken away, and this offense was fine, gives me a confidence that I don't feel like I've had in this offense in the last several years. Truly.
It's felt more boom or bust in the past. Like,
Yes.
they can drop it on you, but also if you solve the one answer or solve the one problem, then
Yeah, dude. And I'm sorry. I'm so happy to not watch Gabe Davis run 30 yards down the field, do nothing, and then run 30 yards back.
For sure. Yeah.
Like, I'm so good with that. I'm so good with that, dude.
Back to what you said with all these, even if they're not top flight wide receivers or tight ends or running backs, whoever they are, you have a quarterback that's able to get loose and adapt and be free a little bit. So even if these guys aren't breaking out from their routes immediately, Josh is able to give them a little extra time to find the pockets, right? Like, I think that's key.
It is. It's absolutely key, dude. Yeah, your quarterback's ability to extend plays, all that does is allow your pass catching options for freedom and time to kind of just revert back to their childhood days and play a little backyard ball, dude.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I was talking about on the fumble that Josh had early in the game. So I was talking to my friend about it. I was like, look, he's that's what you get with Josh Allen. Like, yeah, he gave up a fumble, but still, if he has half a step and he gets free, that ball's going downfield. And it's you're not talking about the play at all. You're talking about, wow, what a fucking pass. That's what you get. That's what you get.
It is having Josh Allen as your quarterback is without a doubt every Sunday the Josh Allen experience. And like Tom said at the very beginning, the Josh Allen experience runs the entire spectrum, dude. There are moments where you want to slap the guy across the face, and there are moments where you want to kiss his feet, dude. It's just part of the it's part of the way Josh Allen is, and you can't change it.
You can't take
nor
the good.
You
can't take all the crazy hurtling over Budda Baker and crashing his way into the end zones plays without the chance of a silly little spinning around in the backfield and getting somebody getting a strip sack on him. Like, that's just you can't have one without the other.
And I'll say this too, dude. Ask Budda Baker if he would rather keep the way that game went, right, or eliminate that fumble so that in turn Josh Allen doesn't hurdle him, right? Like, 10 times out of 10, Budda Baker's choosing to let Josh Allen keep that fumble and not get hurdled for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Like, more often than not, dude, like, and usually, like, in the moment, the bad is so bad, right? But I think, like, one thing I definitely need to do when I'm watching games is remember that, like, when there's a turnover, still doesn't necessarily mean that the other team's going to score for sure. Like, Josh Allen can still turn it over. The defense can hold the opposing team to a field goal, and then Josh Allen can go and hurdle the safety for a touchdown.
Right, and we're still net positive. We're still net positive.
And it's still 7-3.
Yeah,
right. So, like, it's hard in the moment because you watch an egregious sack fumble like the one that he did on Sunday, and you're like, Josh, Christ Almighty, dude! Like, come on. And then you watch him hurdle a several-time All-Pro, and you're like, okay, fumble the ball.
And I think what we should do this year as a podcast, we should be really cognizant about identifying the when and the where those turnovers happen. When in the game, and then where on the field those are happening. And is it truly as catastrophic as it might feel, or is it just us being reacting Bills fans?
Context is super key with turnovers, dude.
So I think we should have a little bit of context clarity for the Bills Mafia this season.
Context clarity. I love it, Tom.
Yeah, you're welcome. I think we need to talk real quick. You said Keon. Keon was a really exciting player to watch this game, and I think he did everything we needed him to. He caught what I think was like 4 out of 5 targets,
Something like that. Yeah.
Right. And then like for like 50 something yards. And one of them was that beautiful down the field along the sideline 50-50 catch. And the guy just outboxed. He looked like the guy was his basketball skills came out. He boxed the guy out. He was the only one able to make the play on the ball. And in a really timely, like fourth quarter, we needed that play to happen. That was a big deal. It was awesome to see Keon out there, especially his usage. I think he had the highest snap percentage of wide receivers on the team.
Yes, wow. He did. Him and Matt Collins both did. And I think that kind of lends itself like a little bit of vision into the game plan. Like I think that leads you to believe that the Bills' offensive game plan was to lean into that bigger offensive personnel, because it was indeed Keon and Matt Collins that led the receivers for snap counts. Keon was indeed our leading receiver, 4 receptions for 51 yards. I just want to read this down real quick, because this is sick, dude. I'm gonna go quick here. Coleman, 4 catches. Shakir, 3 catches. Cook, 3 catches. Hollins, 2 catches. Knox, 1 catch. MVS, 1 catch. Curtis Samuel, 2 catches. Ray Davis, 1 catch. Dalton Kincaid, 1 catch.
Shoo.
That is spreading the wealth, dude. I'm sorry. If we're going back to Josh Allen for a split second, I've never seen a reception stat line like that in my life, bro. That is awesome. That makes you so hard to play against, dude.
Yeah, who are they going to stop?
Oh,
right? Who are you going to take? Go ahead, take that guy that I got 8 other in the back pocket.
God, that is just absolutely awesome. Yeah. But yes, dude, Tom, you said it. What else could we have asked for from Keon Coleman in his first NFL game? Right? He put on display the abilities that we drafted him for. Right? Contested catches in tough situations. That second half catch down the sideline, dude, was nothing short of badass. It was awesome, dude. And exactly what you drafted him for. One-on-one situations where you need a play and you just toss it up there to your big man. And the kid delivered. I think it puts a rest to a lot of the bullshit we were talking about in the preseason. You know, does this guy have it? Clearly has it, or at least has the ability to do it, right? I just think outside of scoring a touchdown, could there have been a better game from Keon game 1? I don't think so.
No. Especially when you think about the other star rookie wide receiver on the other side of the ball who had 1 catch for 4 yards.
Although he should have had 1 catch for a touchdown, then about 60 yards.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. I don't care. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. He didn't. It doesn't matter. Should is not a stat, right? Like, so doesn't matter to me. Our rookie came out and showed out and did what he needed to. I also, in response to the that like contested catch that Keon caught, Josh Allen in the postgame interview said, "Hey, all right, I gotta go trust that kid. I gotta put him in situations where he can go make a play. So
watch for more of those.
We're gonna see more of this. Yeah,
for sure. Yep. Shout out Keon. Happy for that guy.
We got to talk about T-Bass. T-Bass. Oh. He played a good game, right? The poor guy. Maybe it's earned, but there was not much faith. I heard that he was booed at the beginning of the game during warmups. So, yeah.
Oh, I don't like that.
But he was 6 for 6 for this his extra points in his field goals. That's all you could ask. The kickoff that was returned for a touchdown. Nigel, in your all 22 videos and things like that, did you see anything on that, or that's something I wish I had time today to do some more research on?
Yeah, and I didn't see anything crazy. I just think, man, I think the volatility with those kickoffs this season, I just think that's what you're gonna see, man. When you're in that situation where, like, so the receiving team and the kickoff team are lined up so close together, right? And I can think back to like when I played football. My role on kickoffs was literally just called a wedge buster, right? I was immediately to the right of the kicker. And usually when you're returning, you try to form some kind of like a flying V wedge kind of idea, at least in principle, in front of the guy that's returning, right? And my role was to literally just fly down there as a heat-seeking missile and just break apart that wedge.
That's perfect, right? For you.
That's perfect for me. I just led with my head and everything. But like but that existed because there was all that space, right, for the kicking team to run and the receiving team to run backwards. Like there's just more space. Now you're starting like right on top of each other. right? And it's super difficult to get any kind of momentum in one direction or the other, right? So like those blocks are just made so much quicker than they used to be now. I just think the disparity and the volatility on these kick returns is going to be like that this season.
Yeah.
You're going to see more kick returns for a touchdown. I think you're just gonna. There's just less time for mistakes to be covered up in this situation because the contact between one team and the other team is happening so much sooner than it ever did.
So do you think the Bills move? Sorry to interrupt you. Do you think the Bills move more towards just touchbacks at this point? Like whatever, give them the ball at 30 and trust the defense, or do you think
I don't? No, what that looked like to me more than anything else, what somebody missed their hole, right? The way kickouts are designed is everybody's responsible for this, 5-yard stretch of lane, right? Somebody did not hold up they didn't do their 111th in that situation, right? So that was what we saw there. I am not ready to, after 1 week, I'm not ready to think that this team is just going to throw in the towel and say, you know what, let's just concede to the 30. I think there are some adjustments will be made, and they will continue to make teams earn every yard on their return. That's my guess.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, I would agree too.
So, cool. But yeah, I mean, I think those are just going to happen, dude. And it's frustrating because I think like they're going to happen in moments like that, like when they matter the most, right? Like in real time, when that kick return happened, I was like, this is how we fucking lose this game, right? Stupid shit like that, special teams. So luckily we didn't. I'll knock on wood. But yeah, dude, I don't think you're going to see too much overcorrection from the Bills on that. I think you'll see some adjustment and correction, coaching opportunity, right? Anytime there's a kick return for a touchdown, should be a coaching opportunity. But I would still imagine the Bills are going to make every team earn every yard on the kick returns.
Yeah.
Well said.
Agreed.
Well said.
Agreed. Any final thoughts on week 1?
I did. Oh, wait a second. It'll come back. Oh, I gotta give Von Miller some flowers too, man. He had a sack, and the clips of him, dude. The clips of Von Miller don't show prime Von Miller. The clips of Von Miller from Sunday do show a Von Miller that is ready to positively contribute to this defense. We are not getting the same Von Miller as last season. This is a Von Miller that can still have an impact and make a difference. I feel very confident about that after watching A, the game, but B, watching some All-22 and watching some of his clips in that Discord I was talking about. Von Miller's here to make an impact. Oh, yeah. And I think that's a game changer for this defense. Like overall in the season, he could be the X factor. And so far, I'm seeing a Von Miller that's going to impact football games for sure.
That's awesome. I mean, they don't really need him to be prime Von Miller, where he was a complete game breaker, right? So right. I mean, if they had like Groot, you guys talked about him and gave him a lot of props and well deserved. But if he's able to be a bit of a game breaker, then you just need consistent production and consistent kind of pain in the ass, I guess, from Von Miller. Like you still have to respect them, of course. Like just let him chip in that way. That's huge. That's great.
Or at least give Von Miller one-on-ones. Sign me up for that, right?
Yeah,
if Groot's the one going to get double teamed, or Ed Oliver's the one who's going to get double teamed, you're going to leave Von Miller one-on-one. Okay.
Yeah, it sounds similar to the offense. Like pick which one you're going to fucking deal with.
Yeah, exactly, Jake. That's that. They're gonna take care of somebody, but we got 2 or 3 coming in behind. So
yeah,
all right.
And the only other thing with Von Miller is, the way he won with that sack, people are gonna say he can't do it anymore. Maybe he doesn't have that bend, dude, but he straight up out-powered that right tackle, dude. Like, ran him over. Von Miller didn't even touch Kyler Murray. The sack happened because the tackle took out Kyler Murray. Like, that's how badly Von Miller was.
Full shot.
Just kicking this guy's ass. So, dude, like that sack in particular, just watching him out-muscle another big man, that was just like, all right, that's fucking awesome.
Hell yeah. So coming out of this game, the Bills did sustain 2 significant injuries. Josh Allen had his left hand injured. We haven't really seen many details about it other than he has been cleared to practice. He practiced Monday. He practiced Tuesday. There were pictures of him in practice today on Tuesday with a white hand, like a white glove on. And if you zoom in, you do see that 2 fingers are taped together. Again, this is just me being super sleuth and not also talking out my butt. So we got to get somebody with medical experience to be able to talk to us about that. But at least he's practicing and he's practicing in full, right? There's not anything that is hindering his ability to play this week.
Yeah.
The other one is a significant one. It is Taron Johnson. Taron is out indefinitely. We again have not been given a timeline. We know that he's out for this week's game against Miami, and hopefully not much longer, but we're going to need to find out more. But that's a significant loss for this defense, who's already lost Matt Milano. So we're going to play the Dolphins without Matt Milano and Taron Johnson. Whoo, baby. We'll talk about it here in a minute. So walking into week 2, the Buffalo Bills are going down south to Miami, playing Thursday night, September 12th at 8:15 at Hard Rock. It's going to be about 81 degrees at kickoff, 40% chance of rain as of right now, some light winds, 6 miles an hour, so nothing too crazy. But hopefully we're out of the sun and out of the insane humidity, which has been a problem when you play down in Miami. So we kind of at least eliminate that a little bit. It's still hot, and it's still going to be humid. It's still not Western New York. However, hopefully it's not going to be, bake worthy in the oven. So, Nige, what are some keys for this game? This is a big matchup. This is divisional. Both teams are 1-0 coming into this matchup. What are the things that we need to be thinking about going into this game?
It is the same theme that it has been playing the Dolphins for the last couple years. It is find a way to stop the speed. And when I say the speed, I mean Tyreek Hill, who is a piece of shit, Jalen Waddle, Devon Achane, Raheem Mostert. Those are the big 4 that you have to find a way to stop, right? And easier said than done. Obviously, Tyreek Hill unequivocally looked at as the best wide receiver in football, and deservedly so when you put his football skills in a vacuum. He is, without doubt, the best and the most impactful wide receiver in the NFL. Jalen Waddle is an outstanding complement to a Tyreek Hill because he is so incredibly fast as well. So right there, in and of itself, you have 2 insanely fast wide receivers, with one of them being the fastest, aside from maybe Xavier Worthy. Add on to that, you have 2 incredibly fast athletes coming out of the backfield, particularly Devon Achane, who I think last I checked is 4.3 speed. So that dude is lights out. Raheem Mostert only a tick slower, but where he lacks in speed compared to Achane, he makes up for in power when it comes to running between the tackles. Don't get it twisted, folks. This offense is without a doubt a problem, and I do have concerns about our secondary being able to cap that speed. This is a game, honestly, where while their physical skills might not have been where we would like for them to be, I miss Jordan Poyer and I miss Micah Hyde, because what you can't teach is experience. And between the 2 of them, you had a lot of experience in how to stop shit like this. I have concerns, especially with what we saw against the Cardinals, dude. Like, the Cardinals have a fraction of the weapons that the Dolphins do, and they still hung a considerable amount of points against us. Tom?
Yeah, I completely agree. The Bills defense for the last several seasons has predicated itself on being able to limit big plays. Explosive plays didn't really happen against the Buffalo Bills. You could dink and dunk and do the Patrick Mahomes and work the ball down the field, but explosive plays were incredibly difficult to do because of that safety duo in Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, and just the way that the Bills scheme their defense. It's just that's what they try and do. They make you try and walk down the field and have to have 10 to 12 plays in a row that go well for you, as opposed to the 3 or 4 small plays and 1 or 2 big plays. So I think we're the most vulnerable than we ever have to big plays right now. I think the Dolphins' ability to get the ball out quick and still get big chunk plays is going to be an issue, right? The biggest thing that we're going to see is Tua getting the ball out fast, getting it to his playmakers in space, and then forcing the Bills to have to make tackles, which historically hasn't been very fun to watch. So that's in my mind, if I'm the Dolphins and I'm McDaniels, that's how I'm attacking this Bills defense, is making you have to like either A, catch the players, or B, make the tackles when needed. And I'm not sure that the Bills are going to be particularly set up to do that.
Yeah. So here's, and this is another thing that we should have brought up talking about last game. So real quick, last game, our starting cornerbacks were thrown at a total. So starting cornerbacks being Christian Benford and Rasul Douglas, thrown at a total of 4 times for 3 receptions for a total of 4 yards. So, excuse me. That being said, I have a lot of confidence in the cornerbacks on this team, right? Benford and Douglas seem to have their shit on lock. Where we have concerns is with our safety position, right? With Hamlin and Taylor Rapp. And I just worry about the communication in real time.
I agree. No, that's
yeah.
gonna be a big issue. Absolutely. Like that's where the Bills are gonna be susceptible. And it's where they're going to have to figure that out. Now, they have all week. They've known this matchup was coming. The Bills have played the Dolphins all the time. So I'm sure that Bobby Babich and Sean McDermott know how they want to attack this and put their players in the best position to be able to deal with it. But we're going to have to see it be executed. I think this is going to be a shootout. That being said, I think the D-line has to be ready to affect this game and really put the heater on Tua and make him make mistakes, get in his face. This is going to be the game where we're going to need them to really come out and show out.
Yeah, go attack him. We talked about like, Groot's got to have a big game. He's got to come out ready to hungry to get after Tua. So,
yes.
I mean, is trying to have him force him to make a play quicker? Is that what you're thinking too, to kind of negate the speed element for the wide receivers that Nacho was talking about?
Could be, but to be honest, that might be playing into what they're trying to do anyway, because I think they're going to be trying to get the ball out quick too. So they might be trying to mitigate the effect of the D-line by just getting the ball out fast. So that way, right? Because generally it takes 2.5 seconds or so for a D lineman to get to the quarterback. If the quarterback can get the ball out beforehand, that's generally before a pressure can really reach a quarterback. So if he can get the ball out fast, he can almost negate anything that Groot or Von Miller or Ed Oliver can do to really affect this game. So somehow they're going to have to get Tua to hold on to the ball a little bit longer than he wants to allow that D-line to get there. And it's going to have to be a little bit of a couple things are going to have to go the Bills' way to really make that game plan to happen.
Yeah, for sure.
The secret to that is taking away Tua's first read, right? If you go off of last year's stats, and I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but I do know for a fact these are correct. If you take away his first read, Tua's first read, his QBR plummets, dude. Like plummets considerably. I'm talking like 20 to 30 points.
Yeah, if
I remember correctly.
It's significant. Yeah, it's a big deal.
The longer you can keep that guy holding on to the ball, the better your defense is going to do, to a degree, right? Because eventually you get to the point where it's backyard football, and once backyard football happens, Tyreek Hill is just going to run circles around everybody.
Yeah, dude, that's
right.
Neat.
So as long as we can take away that first read, I think we're going to find some success on defense. But again, this is, we say that every year we play the Dolphins, and it's always easier said than done, right? Tua's got a quick trigger. So if you can turn that 2.5 seconds to like 3.5, like that's the sweet spot, I think, there between 3 and 4 seconds, maybe 3 to 5 with Tua. Beyond that, he's going to cook you because of backyard football.
Yeah.
But if you can keep it in the 3 to 5 range, I think you're going to have some big time success against the Dolphins.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's cut back to the running backs. Daniel, thanks for tuning in. Sideline reporter Daniel said Achane and Mostert did not practice today. If one or both can't go, what do you guys think? How much does that change the scheme? What do you think of that? I mean, I assume at least one of them is going to be good to play, but it's something that they're both on the injury report. What are you guys' thoughts?
First of all, shout out Miller Time. Thanks for hopping in there, brother. Dude, it alters the game drastically. For both teams, right? If you're the Bills and those guys can't go, all of a sudden you're setting up formations defensively that are way more along the lines of that umbrella in the secondary, just keeping everything in front of you. You don't have to worry about loading up the box, right? You got to keep an eye on Jonnu Smith because that guy's athletic and he could be a problem. But if by some miraculous chance Devon Achane and Mostert can't go, it's going to change the way Bobby Babich calls this game pretty significantly, I would have to imagine. You'll see a lot more, or excuse me, a lot less in terms of defenders in the box, meaning within like 3 to 5 yards of the line of scrimmage defensively, than you would if those guys were in there, for sure.
Yeah, McDaniels has been quoted to say though that he's got that he has 4 running backs in the stable and he can see them all as interchangeable. Jalen Wright and Jeff Wilson are still ones that fit their scheme. I agree. He's probably talking out his butt because the guy kind of always does that, right? That's kind of his MO. But they're not Achane, they're not Mostert. But I still think I don't think it's going to change the Dolphins' game plan. I think you agree that it will probably change how the Bills approach this game, but I don't think they use their running backs differently. I think it is significant that Achane and Mostert did not practice both Monday and Tuesday. So that's 2 days of DNP. So that's and the game's on Thursday. So tomorrow's injury report will be a big deal. What you have a thought here, Nige? What is it?
Yeah, I would just push back. I think it will absolutely fundamentally change the way the Dolphins run their offense. I think the ghost of Jeff Wilson is not even in the same zip code as Achane and Mostert. I think it does. I think if it doesn't change their offensive structure, that big time plays into the strength of the Bills. If you're going to try to do the same stuff with Jeff Wilson that you would do with Devon Achane, thank you.
I think it's gonna be more Jalen Wright, dude. That guy's another speedster. He's very fast. Similar to Devon Achane. I think we'd see a lot more of that Jalen Wright kid.
You're probably right there.
We'll have to see, right? We don't know. That's the whole thing here. But so we've kind of been talking through like, oh my gosh, how do the Bills deal with the Dolphins? But I think we got to really go back to is how do the Dolphins deal with Josh Allen? Like that's the biggest question, right? We can say that we're worried about the Dolphins. We can say that, man, they're a tough matchup. Oh my gosh, are they coming for the division? But we got to back up and say, wait a second, they haven't beaten Josh Allen, right? Like they don't beat Josh Allen. Josh, over his career, is 11-2 against the Dolphins, averages 336 total yards per game, 3.2 total touchdowns per game, only 1 turnover per game, 65.7% completion percentage, and 108.7 quarterback rating. So I'd say that's pretty good. That's like MVP. You know, he has essentially a whole season's worth of MVP stats against the Dolphins. So in my mind, and this is going to be reflective in my score prediction later, the Dolphins are still going to be the Dolphins against Josh Allen until they beat him. Then we can come back and talk. Until then, I don't care. We have Josh Allen, and you're the Dolphins.
Yeah. Yeah, you absolutely. I mean, it's always hard, right? When you're the fan of a team, like I feel like it's really easy to just focus on the negatives, right? And it's easy to lose sight of the things that you bring to the table or your team brings to the table that puts the opposing team, in a state of fear. And yeah, you can't convince me that like Dolphins fans can talk all their shit, but you cannot convince me for a single moment that there is a single Dolphins fan or Bills fan for that record, or for that matter, that isn't nervous as hell for that game on Sunday or Thursday, right? We all want the bragging rights. We all want to be able to talk shit, right?
Yep.
When it comes to the fan base, everyone's nervous, but it is easy to, like, as a Bills fan, to only think about Tyreek Hill and Jayden Waddle and not think about the fact that, oh yeah, Josh Allen's on my team.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and again, we talked about it, dude. Like even if Miami wants to, let's say Miami goes, okay, we want to eliminate Dalton Kincaid and Keon Coleman. Well, we just showed that there are 7 other players on that football team right now that can and will catch the football and score. So I think, you're right, Tom. It's a great point. What's Miami going to do? They can't stop everybody.
At this point, nothing. Until they prove us otherwise. And if we come back on this podcast next week and we have to come back with a tail between the legs, we will. Fine. That's fine.
So be it.
So be it. But I'm not going in with my tail between my legs until I have to.
No,
right?
You kidding me? I'm going in swinging my dick in circles, bro.
I think it's going to be a complete shootout. Yeah. I think whoever scores the most points wins.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think
Obviously.
That's the hard-hitting analysis you come to this podcast for.
You know what I meant, though.
he's very, 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 very best John Madden impression, dude.
I love it.
You got two teams. The one team they score more points than the other team. Boom, they win the game.
You know what? We got an episode title right there. There we go, baby.
Holy shit, Jake, that was unbelievable, bro.
So with Teron Johnson out, Cam Lewis is gonna have to play his life out. And just come on in, and he thankfully has all week to prepare for this, and he is preparing for this game to be that slot corner. And I think that's gonna be really a big kind of cog in this wheel of how this game goes.
Yeah, I think there's a really good chance that Cam Lewis is the X factor on Thursday, just as the guy that's replacing Taron Johnson, who just plays such a huge role in this defense, right? Like when you lose a guy like that, it's impactful. No two ways about it. So yeah, I think and now I'll say this too. If Cam Lewis plays like he did on Sunday, the Bills might be absolutely fine because he looked awesome on talk about rising to the occasion, dude. Like, boy,
man, what a story. That guy was a UDFA from UB and has just played his way and to be a really big role player in this Buffalo Bills defense, which is a good defense, right? Which is it's a very good defense for many years in a row. So it's incredible the trajectory this young player has had.
Yeah, for sure, dude. He's gonna be a major factor on Thursday. And I guess you can just leave it at that.
Yeah. All right. Any closing thoughts here, boys?
I don't think so. I think we pretty much got everything here. We just got to throw out some score predictions. Yeah, boys?
All right. I think we let Jake go last because he's the reigning champ here.
Okay.
I think we owe him that honor.
Okay.
I'll go first here. I agree, and we've kind of already talked through it. I think it is going to be a shootouts. I think this is going to be a track meet of who scores the most points. Just as Jake, very eloquently told us. So my score prediction, I'm going to go with a 34-27 Bills win. Win by a touchdown, but it's going to be a bunch of points have to be put up.
I say 45-42 Bills. I agree with Jake. I think it's going to be a shootout, dude. I just I'm looking at the Dolphins defense, and yes, they get Jalen Phillips back, but that secondary, dude, Josh Allen routinely dices up that secondary. And with this new look Bills offense that is just Josh Allen point guard, distribute the ball to wherever it needs to go, I think that combined with the fact that we are concerned about the Bills secondary, specifically in the middle over the top, 45-42 Bills.
I love it. I thought I was going high, but I love that you were tipping above me there. I agree. Shootout. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it comes down to the last minute or less. I'm going 38-36 Bills.
My cardiac health hopes that you're wrong.
Yeah, good luck falling asleep before 2 a.m. on Thursday night.
Yeah, seriously. Right? Christ almighty, dude.
Yikes. Well, all right, boys, this was fun. This is a good one. We're in the middle of it, right? This is the NFL season. Sabres things are coming up. They're on the radar. They're on the calendar. So stay tuned, folks. They're coming.
Less than 1 month until the opener.
It's pretty fun. So anyway, we appreciate you all, folks. Let's get out of here.
Thank you all from the bottom of our hearts for spending some time with us. Please give us a like and a follow on Instagram, X, TikTok, and our YouTube channel at Let's Go Buff Pod. These are my pals, Jake and Nigel. My name is Tom, and you're listening to the Let's Go Buffalo podcast. We're sending you love wherever you are. Go Bills, go Sabres, let's go Buffalo.